I've heard that we already have personal brands. Your personal brand is how your friends and family would describe you. And I think there's some truth to that, but I don't fully agree. I more so see my personal brand as who I want to scream out to the world that I am. I more so see it as how I would like to introduce myself to the world. And that just means to my audience. We've talked about target audience. For me, a personal brand is who I want to introduce myself as to my audience. And I feel like that's less than coming up with this curated introduction or curated type of person. I'm not trying to do that, but I am trying to formulate into words, into a clear vision and statement of who I am. And I think that comes from knowing who I am and just wanting to be able to package that nicely for others in my audience, whether that's online or offline, to understand that a personal brand is being able to communicate my message and who I am in this current moment and what I want to be known for in this current moment. I do think that's a skill. I do think that's something to be worked on, and I do believe it's an advantage to have in this creator economy. But before I get into my plan, I do want to talk about why I'm even starting a personal brand as a creator. And there's three main reasons. That first reason has to do with the fact that a personal brand, in my opinion, corresponds with building my online presence. For me, it's cool to have various social media accounts. And I do believe that's also a part of building an online presence. But I want to take things a step further and have a website for myself. And when people look me up, I want them to see an array of different things. Perhaps I've been interviewed on this podcast, I wrote this article, or, I just want to have a lot of digital real estate. And to me, that's equivalent to building my online presence. Just having IG, just having TikTok, just having YouTube, that's not enough for me. And I need my own website. And I'm not saying a personal brand is just having your own website, but I'm just trying to say that a personal brand is a necessary ingredient to my way of building or how I want to build my online presence. The next reason is a personal brand is the foundation for all the different income streams that I want to build online. It is that first layer, that launch pad, that thing that will anchor me as I add on streams of income going on in the future. I have been having slow and steady growth on YouTube. It will be almost 3 months since I've been consistently creating content on my YouTube channel. And what I've come to recognize, when I first started out on the journey, I was so hyped to get 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 watch hours. I was excited to monetize my channel. I want to create content, and I also want to have YouTube be a stream of income for myself. But now, almost being 3 months into being consistent, I recognize that I don't need to wait until that point to start making money online. And for me, I feel like starting to craft my personal brand, why not get started now? It's going to be a long process. This is not a simple thing to do. This is multi-layered, building a personal brand. So my whole theory is let's not wait till I'm at 500 subscribers. Let's not wait till I'm at 1,000. Let me start putting the pieces in place so that when I do get 1,000 subscribers plus, I've already created some infrastructure and my online presence is way more than just my YouTube channel. I'm not even posting on IG and TikTok right now. Like, this is a little bit of a side tangent, but I'm not even posting and giving my attention to other platforms. So let's just say tomorrow my channel blows up. It would be like crickets around me on the internet right now. And all I would have to show is my YouTube channel. I don't really want that outcome. So I really want to be well-rounded. And for me, that starting a personal brand will provide that. My third reason as to why I'm doing this is having a personal brand is a currency. I want to read to you what I wrote down when I was coming up with my bullet points for this, because I really like how I said it. If I have a strong personal brand, I'm able to leverage that to create more opportunities for myself. To put that another way, similar to how currency is exchanged for goods and services, a strong personal brand can be traded for opportunities, influence, collaboration, and career advancements. I just feel like having a personal brand opens up a lot of doors that only having social media accounts doesn't. Now let's get into how do I plan to start this process, because I've mentioned building a personal brand is not easy, and it's not something that happens overnight. So in this video, I'm not going over my whole entire game plan and playbook for my personal brand. I'm simply sharing with you my first initial steps to get the process rolling and get the process going. So let's take it back a little bit. Starting my YouTube channel is a part of like my first steps here, and I've done that. And I've been consistent, which is not only starting the channel, it's being a consistent creator on YouTube. Check that box. Let's rewind to before the point of me starting my channel. This is December 2022. And almost that full month, I was really trying to figure out, what am I doing with this whole online presence thing? Like, it's been a goal of mine to build an online presence. I actually have had this goal since 2015. I was in the process of starting a blog back in 2015. This is when I called myself Natural Nala. I had went natural in high school. I graduated high school in 2015, and Natural Nala was like me. That was my little name for myself, and that was going to be the name of my blog. And when I first was approaching my personal brand and everything like that back then, I did focus on the visual branding of things. I focused on the colors, the fonts, and so on and so forth. Now, fast forward to 2022, which is like my third or fourth time really trying to create my personal brand. I decided, well, not even I decided, I was on TikTok, and a video came up on my For You page from this creator named Coco Moco, and she put me on to something that really was mind-blowing for me in that moment of me trying to figure out, what am I doing with my online presence? What do I want this to look like? So on and so forth. She really put me on game to something that I want to share with you, and that is called the Lighthouse Strategy. So the Lighthouse Strategy is the bigger picture of what do you want to be known for, and it's essentially finding your bigger message, your bigger meaning in all your videos or your content. It's a through message. And let's talk about a little bit of this analogy of lighthouse. Like, why is it called the Lighthouse Strategy? So to my understanding, a lighthouse provides guidance and direction to sailors and like people out in the ocean, working out in the ocean, right? And I did go to ChatGPT just to hear how they would word it, and ChatGPT was like a lighthouse aids sailors by serving as a visual navigational marker, warning of hazards, and providing orientation during both day and night, promoting safe maritime navigation. So I think the aspect of providing orientation is very similar to how I said providing guidance and direction. And for me, that's what this lighthouse strategy does for one's personal brand and for my personal brand. Let's break down this lighthouse method even further. There's 3 aspects to this. There's the what, the how, and the who. The what comes from the particular question within the definition that I shared of what do you want to be known for? I let that question marinate in my mind and my body and my spirit just within me for at least 4 weeks. For me, it was really hard to pinpoint what do I want to be known for. And just to make this clear, this is like the first stage of your personal brand. Like answering what do you want to be known for is not for the whole rest of your personal brand. This is simply the first thing that you want to be known for. After a certain amount of time, you will be able to become known for something else, but it's about where do you want to start? And it took me a lot of time to pinpoint and figure out the answer to that question, and I didn't rush it. I really felt like I needed to get clear on this in order to move forward. I want to be known for helping people win and grow. Another way to put that is I want to be known for helping people become the best version of themselves, And now we get into the how. How do I want to do that? I want to do that by helping people build businesses, because a fitness instructor can have a similar lighthouse. Like, they want to help people be the best version of themselves. But the way they do that is with helping people create their best bodies. And, so I want to do that by helping people build businesses. And I took that like 3 steps further and got clear on, okay, like business is so broad. Which part of business do you want to help people build? And I'm going to keep like that deeper dive private, but I'm just trying to share with you, go a bit deeper into the how. Don't really stay only at the surface level. Go at least 3 levels deeper, and it's going to be really helpful. Who? In order to figure out who I wanted to help, I took a look at people in my industry or in my niche, people that I ultimately have admired for a long time and that have inspired me to do what I'm doing. And I want to pull 2 examples, and that's Vanessa Lau and Erin on Demand. And I looked through their websites, their personal websites, their content, their social media platforms, and I recognized they would mention, certain people that they're talking to. Vanessa Lau, her who is corporate escapees, content creators, and new coaches. She would say that often. Erin on Demand, who is social media creators, side hustlers, and aspiring influencers. And that just kind of really clarified to me that I need to have at least an overarching group or groups of people that I'm talking to. I would suggest to have no more than 3 core segments of an audience that you want to have. But I ended up landing on content creators and online entrepreneurs. And I feel like over time, those can get more specific, more similar to how Vanessa Lau and Erin on Demand has a little more specificity to their who. But I know at least that's who I'm talking to, in a general sense, and it has been extremely helpful so far. All of this here, this whole lighthouse strategy, can also be looked at as getting clear on your brand message. What is the correlation? Well, I think if you take a look at what you want to be known for, you can easily extract like the message behind your brand. And another way, I guess, to put that is your lighthouse. Like that, your brand message can also be looked at as your lighthouse simply. And I do hope I am explaining this clearly enough for you to understand what I am saying. So just to recap on how I've started / I'm starting this process of building my personal brand. The first space was getting clear on my lighthouse / my brand message. And secondly was starting my YouTube channel and being consistent with uploading and doing everything involved with having a YouTube channel. The third thing that I'm doing to begin the process of starting my channel is making a personal website. I just feel like that's a natural progression. That's the next thing. I have a networking event coming up, and I want to be able to say, yeah, you can hit me up on IG, or here's my website. My website is NalaWright.com. You can also contact me on there and just check me out. Like, I don't know what I would say. I still got to work on that, but I want to be able to say that. I just feel I want to have it in my YouTube links. I want to just have this space where I can really build out my message and just a whole array of things. So I am going to make a whole video on building my personal website. I have delayed it for multiple reasons, but I made personal websites before, but they weren't the greatest. About a couple of years ago, I was just in this space like, I'm not going to have a personal website until I can pay thousands of dollars if I need to have like a personal website that just depicts everything that I see in my mind of how I want it to be. And I have gotten out of that mindset. And what's really helped me leave that way of thinking is some of the lessons I've learned with starting my YouTube channel. I've talked about messy action and applied that to content creation. And I'm now going to apply that to other sectors of my brand, build my online presence, everything in this whole space. Like, I can just take messy action and create like my first website on my own. I have the skills to create a website, and there's multiple platforms that make that easy. So let me just start there, and over time it can get better. And also another lesson of just like starting and figuring out as you go. Like, don't hold yourself back because things aren't going to look perfect. And I'm just carrying that over into other areas of my whole thing. But I just really hope that I've helped you. I hope by sharing my plan of starting my personal brand as a creator, I've inspired you to do it as well, or I've given you some type of nugget of wisdom and inspiration. I think I already said that. It's late. I gotta go. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye-bye.